and welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot, where the very first thing you heard was Darren sniffling. I'm Travis Helwig.
I'm Darren Miller. Oh, boy. Wow. Wow.
You said you made it one thing, and it wasn't one thing. This is, look, guys, maybe our best all-around game so far this year. I think we saw a team that dominated from start. Vince is here.
I've been here the whole time.
You weren't here when we started the show, were you?
Yeah.
Travis, Vince is right behind you.
I was like, what's up with that?
I didn't see you but this is going terribly. I'm going to start. Hello and welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot. After an absolute drubbing of the Houston Dynamo post-game live stream, I'm Travis Helwig.
I'm Darren Miller.
And I'm Vince LaRosa. Look, Travis, I'll give you a break. Here's what happened. So I went to open the door. For people that don't know, when we're at the stadium, we go into the room where the technical team of the opposing team normally is. And we normally wait. And so I wait. A dude came out, and I was like, oh, it's probably empty. So I tried to open the door, and there was a guy just like leaning out the window watching. And I was like, what's that all about? That's weird. Okay, I'll wait. Turns out that dude was Josh Wolf, former head coach of Austin. And I was like, oh, okay, glad I didn't go in there. But then I honestly went to go in, but I was talking to the LAFC guys for a hot second. And the second I went to turn to go in, the GM from Houston walked in the door and like slammed it. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I had to ask so I'm in the LAFC room, and I was like, hey guys, can I take your room? They're like, yeah, we're done. I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to go in that room, even if he comes out. They're like, yeah, it's probably not a good time. So
I'm glad we got some inside scoop. You're a journalist even when you're not, Vince.
Yeah, I'm trying hard.
Can't help it.
What did you tell us what you saw this game? I mean, it just felt like start to finish. There was some moments in maybe the mid part of the second half where it felt like we were losing control of the game. Steve made the right adjustments right around when Vince texted, we need to make subs. He made subs. It just felt like an overall, maybe our most solid start to finish regular season game of this year. How you feeling?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything like particularly special. Like it wasn't to the point where early in the season we were like, oh, we won, but that was boring. Like they did control the game and they played some nice football at times. I think the biggest thing that LAFC did was they ran a lot. Like they were really disciplined and they were really on top of it. First and foremost, probably Tim Tillman. Like Tim Tillman was everywhere in that game. Really, really strong game for him on both sides of the ball. And then like stylistically, this game is a good game for LAFC. I know we played Houston, we lost, but when we played in Houston, we had a heavily rotated squad. This was LAFC's probably top squad. You could give or take certain players, but Houston's a team that likes to have the ball, but they also like to have the ball because they like to defend with it. And LAFC was like, well, what if you don't have the ball? And also we're going to make you move a little bit. Like the LAFC was really patient compared to the way they played against St. Louis, where everything seemed to be in a hurry. It just felt like they decided, let's make Houston work. Let's also not make any mistakes. And then when we find our moments, let's go really fast. And that's what you saw for the goals and a lot that they created. But other than that, they were just like smart and pragmatic on the ball, and Houston had no answers.
I also want to say happy foot Denny Bwanga. In a game in which he did not score any goals, Denny Bwanga made the smart choice, Ilie Sanchez, pretty consistently, right? He did very much shoot a lot, but a lot of those were really great shot choices. He chose to pass to Abobasi at the right time. Wasn't a beautiful pass entirely.
Oh, what a terrible pass.
Abobasi had to do a lot of work, had to do a lot of extra work there.
And yet he did it. I mean, like, it gave me a lot of I'm excited. Look, Ordaz has been great. Martinez actually had a really great game. I don't want to be dismissive. I think Martinez is another happy foot. I just feel like an Abobasi, Under, Bwanga front three is an exciting front three for this team when they get started cooking. But we have a lot of options up front now that I'm feeling good about. Like, we can ignore that one of our DP slots is being wasted right now. We have some good players up front.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all those points. I thought Martinez, after having what I thought was just an like abject game against St. Louis, like started and then after a few things didn't come off, was like, I'm done for the day. Like he was back to himself. He was finding some pockets of space, really gliding by a lot of players, which was really nice to see. Came close to winning a penalty, I thought, there in the second half, but that was probably the right call. Ordaz was just gassed by the end of the game because he put in a lot of work defensively too. So I don't think saying Obobisi just gives you something different. Like he's able to hold on to the ball a little bit more, and he's a little smarter in the way he connects the team. Whereas Nathan is just like, he runs. And you love that about him. But also in this game, when they were up 1-0, it was like, when I was telling you guys needed a sub, like that was the one spot I was really thinking we needed a sub. Because Nathan was just kind of gassed and wasn't really giving you much on either side of the ball. And like, that's the worst thing a center forward can do, where he's like, well, you're not pressuring the ball, and you're also not helping us win the ball. You're not helping us keep the ball. You're not making runs off the ball. What are you doing? It was the right subs at the right time. It felt like it could have been maybe 5 minutes too late, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. Like we're splitting hairs. Yep. And they took care of business.
Darren, I'm going to lead into your question with a super chat from Mikey. Are we back? Says Mikey. Thank you for the super chat.
Wow, what a question.
He adds, have to dip out early. Thanks for setting up the ticket exchange. My tickets never go to waste. If you guys are not in the Patreon, there were more free tickets given away today in the Patreon than anything any day in the history of this podcast. You join the Patreon for $5 a month, and then every home game, a few people.
At this point, you should join the Patreon just for the math.
It is mathematically smart if you want to get cheap tickets to the game. Darren, are we back?
I think we're back.
Yes.
I think it's clear we will be back.
All right, wrap it up. We're done.
This was not.
Wait, say what you said again.
Suggest that
I think it's clear we will be back. It was such a political answer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, I think we're back, but we're not. It's not like, okay, this is who we are, and like, if we play this way for the rest of the season, we're good. I think it's clear that the path they're on is the path they need to be on, and we've watched them turn the corner pretty gradually the last like 6 games, let's say. I feel like this game felt very much like the end of a corner turn for them, where if they don't play this well in the next few weeks, it's because something has changed. Mm-hmm. Something has gone wrong from where they're at now. They've reached that step we need them to reach. I'm feeling good about it. Since
we, I forget what happened in Champions Cup. I don't remember exactly how it ended.
I'm not even familiar with the tournament. What is that?
It's a little bit worse than the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which they unjustifiably took us out of in order. It just.
The champions can't defend that. We're good. This is like when someone leaves a wrestling federation with the belt, right? They always have the belt. You can't take it without beating us.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, since we've been able to play one game a week, the team has been able to keep possession. We've been able to play more excitingly. Like all of the things that we were complaining about while watching this team. And I'm not saying we've played perfect soccer over the last few weeks. We've dropped points in games we shouldn't have dropped points, but we're playing in a way that we look like a team that could be a top quality team in this league. Do I think right now we are the best team in this league? I don't think we're close to the best team in this league, but I think we're closer to the best than we are to the worst. And we've seen that a lot from this team since we again, don't remember what happened with the Champions Cup, whatever happened.
Yeah, I think we've been trying to find like our identity. That was the issue last year too, but this year we hadn't found it in the first place yet. And now it's like, if this is how we play, like as a default, then it's like a good place to go from. It feels like they found that middle ground that Vince, you've talked about a number of times, I think, between the possession play and the transition play that has been so elusive.
Yeah, this is a really good platform for. I think you guys both make really great points. Like if you play this way the whole rest of the season, I don't think you're winning a supporter shield, but you'll be getting a home game in the playoffs. And so this is a really good start. And it starts with honestly just being disciplined and really having good energy and intensity, which again, to Travis's point, makes sense when you're not having to play so many games and travel a ton. You get time on the training field to put this together and to understand the spots you're supposed to be in. So that's nice. I think ultimately, yes, I would like to see them add a couple gears, but but there's plenty of time to do that, and or even a player or two to do that ahead of the playoffs. So I like this. Your point about like possession and finding that. Yeah, I mean, what they did was they would move the ball around and they weren't stupid with it, but then they would create chances by, sucking Houston to one side and then basically turning possession into a transition moment, which we've talked a little bit about. LAFC was all transition to the point where it was hard to watch when they had the ball, but now they've found ways that, wow, we can do the thing that we do best even when we have the ball. And that's just another layer. But I think ultimately the final thing will be just some real quality in the final third. They're still only really good in space. And when they're, forcing teams to race back towards their goal. But there were some moments, I would say, like Sergi's shot. Sergi was really good. I actually should just say that from top. I think he's my happy foot. He obviously creates that goal. The shithousery that he had throughout the game trying to get Escobar his second yellow finally worked. I will say, I don't know if it showed up on cameras, but Amin Bassi was the first sub of the game, and Sergi was like, get the fuck off the field, because he was taking forever. And so Bassi was like, well, fuck you, and started taking off his like tape wraps and threw it on the field. And Sergi went nuts. And I gotta love a guy just a week after Earth Day to be like, how dare this man litter? I mean, he ran to the referee, and the referee was like, what is your problem? And he ran to both things and pointed at him. He's like, why would he do that? And the ref just went like this. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. This
Look, he's falling for my trick.
Yeah. Wait, you could card someone for littering, right?
Yeah.
I think a happy foot for me was Franco Escobar, maybe being the first player returning home to LAFC that got in a verbal altercation with the 32-52 after winning a trophy with us. Clearly no love lost between us and Franco Escobar, a man who
would you
frankly
put it past,
was not an important member of the squad.
I was going to say, would you put it past Franco Escobar if you were like, why would you do that to a place you were, and him go, wait, I played here?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like me.
This shithole? Yeah.
I've never walked past this area ever in my life.
I'm a young boy.
Yeah.
I also want to say Max Bredos had a couple of lines that were happy feet for me. I listened to the Max over Dave Denholm tonight. No offense to either, but sometimes you got to choose. Sometimes you can't listen to both.
A real dilemma when that happens.
I sometimes put the AirPod in and you listen to both, but Max said at one point, bring on the computer. Just because they were talking about what the win probabilities of the teams are. Bring on the computer. He said computer. He said computer. And then he also had a good drowning pool reference at the end of the first half.
Oh, let the bodies on the floor. Yeah.
I just like to imagine Max listening to that before like running to the mic to be like, and welcome to an MLS showdown between.
Bring on the computer. Let's bring on the super chats.
Bring on the super chats.
We have this one from Jeff Tack. Talk about the erotic falcon, you cowards. Now, none of us. Oh, Vince, what did so?
Oh, the falcon went into the field club.
Yeah. So what we've heard is that the falcon found out about the free beer and the free food in the field club.
It only took like 100 games. Well, look, man.
Ollie's getting up there.
You just get trotted out to do this thing, and then finally you find out there's free beer and free food like 50 feet away from you this whole time. Like,
I don't think Ollie.
Go for it.
I really don't think Ollie respects the Nepo baby falconer. I just have to say it. Ollie behaved for the dad falconer, and the Nepo baby falconer has been very nice man. Very nice man. But Ollie has escaped twice this season, and now gone into the field club.
Somebody correct me on this. I know Ollie would stick around for games, but like I'd never seen Ollie so much like on the arm of the falconer walking around the stadium during the game. And I think maybe that's what it is. Ollie's like, look, bro, I come out pre-game. That's my time. And after that, it's free time for me. Don't make me go back out there. I'm not getting paid anymore. And I think she's really taking umbrage with how much they're stretching her thin. This is not fair.
Maybe she's like, well, you bring me around so much. This is my home. I want to go over there. You walk me out from there. Let's get out of here. I know where we're going after this, bud. I don't need to chase the puck.
Also, why walk?
Why is it an erotic falcon?
Well, that's a Jeff thing.
Yeah, Jeff, what are you talking about? All right. Thank you for
It's
this
for his
super chat, Jeff.
fan fiction that he's writing.
Yeah. You got to give us more information than that. Daniel, this one is too much. Thank you so much for
Thank
the
you. Oh my
$20
goodness.
super chat. Thank you. Weather was crisp, but our passes and shots for the most part were not. At 8:10 elapsed, I looked at the clock and realized the Valley's very own Nathan Ordasm would be hero today. Nips were perky, but 2 goals ain't enough. For those of you who are new listeners to the show, we haven't had a lot of Danny Two Nips on the podcast. Danny Two Nips shows his two nips when we score 4 goals. And when we score 4 goals, he calls in to show his two nips. I believe it's 3 in the playoffs. 4
That's right. Okay.
in the regular season. So
I think I believe it's maybe happened once on a 3-0 game as well. I don't know.
I don't remember.
The rule gets bent.
I think it's 4, right? There was a period of time when we were scoring an insane amount of goals where we had to raise the limit.
Yeah, we had to raise. There was a time we had to raise the limit, and there was a time we had to lower the limit.
Okay, maybe it's back at 3.
Playoff goals count for more, so there is a chance that maybe it was a playoff.
That's possible. Well, I do think there was some sloppiness from the club, but I think overall we were in control of this game. I
thought
Jonathan
they were a lot
Bond.
cleaner. Yeah,
Bond,
they were a lot cleaner. They were a lot cleaner, and they weren't they were cleaner, but it was because they weren't trying to be as kind of erratic and brave as they were maybe against St. Louis. Like they weren't trying a lot of hero passes like they were against St. Louis, and so they were holding on to the ball a lot more. I actually thought they were crisper, but maybe less exciting, less dynamic, maybe.
They just kind of like passed the ball back and forth a few different times that were just like, oh, we'll wait until something opens up. Yeah, that's cool.
They weren't
I was like encouraged by that.
They weren't pushing the envelope as much.
I do think Denny made a couple of shots that went very well wide, but he does that when he's in his groove, and he made a lot of shots that also were on target, and there were really good saves made, right? Like there was at least 2. I mean, the goalie had 7 saves on our 9 shots. It was the
Bouanga one-man attack where he took the ball from midfield and created a shot. Like that was a really good save and a really good shot. Like
if he scored that would have been unbelievable.
Was that the same play that Martinez was just like still down from like 3 plays
Martinez
ago?
would have missed the entire thing.
I feel like he was down. He was kind of faking it, but then it got long enough that he was like, well, now I got to really act like I'm actually injured.
He's like, the ball go out eventually, right?
I just like that Bouanga was in between 4 defenders and still somehow it felt like Bouanga was back. He got around the outside, and then if it wasn't for a great save, would have scored a goal there in incredible fashion. Thank you so much for the super chat, Danny. And we hope to see those nips soon. Another one from Danny.
Oh my goodness.
$5. You should set up a PayPal Venmo and then gives us instructions of what to not say out loud. Oh no, he's saying don't say any of this stuff out loud. I would say,
but you chatted it.
It is visually there.
You literally sent it right to Google. You gave them the source.
I think Google allows us to get paid other ways too. It's not against the rules for us to get paid other ways, but I do think I like the super chat format. But thank you, Daniel.
Okay, quick meeting, everybody.
Yeah, can you guys actually everyone mute us for a second? Aaron, how much? Which would we make more money on if we have to report taxes of Venmo or?
Oh yeah, good question. Yeah, let me get my calculator out.
Okay. Everyone, keep your mics off. I'll go like this.
Yeah, YouTube takes this cut.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh no!
Oh shit!
The government muted this too.
Any sad puts? We haven't had any. Should we get into those when we get into college? What are we thinking?
Yeah,
that's it.
We have one more super chat real quick if you want to do that before.
Let's do another super chat.
Oh, sure.
Vaughn Amirian from Amirian Law, our good friend Hafo, the Van Nuys GOAT. Yeah, better than Messi, Nathan Ordaz. He just has taken a leap this year. He just really has. Maybe our most exciting player of the year so far. Consistently good. I'm not saying he's the most talented. I'm not saying he has the highest upside. I'm saying every time we watch him, he's been pretty strong. And I don't know. I'm a full believer in Nathan Ordaz now. Sadfoot, 0 minutes for Duenas. Yeah, he would have gotten a nice ovation as opposed to
they played a really nice video for him pregame, and he got a pretty nice ovation pregame,
that's
which was
good.
really cool. Also here, I don't know if they showed it on TV. They probably didn't. Muri was here.
Super yeah,
they
did show it.
He got a nice ovation. I guess Sadfoot. Actually, here's a Sadfoot. The old C-level celebrity suite really got shown up this game because Edward Norton was here. Zoe Saldana was here, and Penelope Cruz, and so not a lot of action for the old corner suite, but director's box pretty hot with A-listers.
Oh, so they were not in the soccer head box. They were in the director's box.
They were in the very, very nice box.
They're big Erik Duenas fans. That's why they came by.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
They love Houston.
Had to be here for the return of
Houston. Really draws a big crowd, a big A-list crowd. The stars come out.
Oh, and people are saying Javier Bardem was there too. They didn't show him on the thing, but I would assume if Penelope Cruz was here, that Javier Bardem was there.
How did this happen? This hasn't happened in a long time.
This was like Messi level celebrities in the director's box.
I'm sorry.
That's what we should start calling it from now on. They're not A-listers. They're Messi level.
They're Messi level.
Yeah. Apologies to whatever Instagram stars did not get on.
Yeah, did not get their moment on the big screen between Muri and all the rest of the people.
Apologies
TikTok
to
musicians.
the SoundCloud rappers. Thank you so much, Vaughn, for that super chat. They did show Javier. Everyone's saying they did show Javier Bardem.
Oh my God.
Yes, they did show Javier.
I missed it. I must have
Can someone in the chat let us know if Javier Bardem was there?
Yeah.
Could you throw it in the chat if Javier Bardem was at the game?
Yeah, tell us in the chat.
I would be so excited to see Javier Bardem. I like all those other people.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem fucking is cool. He's a cool dude.
It's another level.
He rules.
All right, he's been waiting for a while. Our good friend Daniel's here. Daniel, any happy feet or sad feet from this wonderful match?
First off, I want to just want to say to Miriam Law, I'm an aspiring paralegal and I am out on the job market. I am a starter in the field. Just saying, you'll probably ignore this, but other than that, let's talk about soccer.
Shoot your shot, Daniel.
Do it.
Shoot your shot, Daniel. If you get hired from this podcast, we get 10% of your salary
in perpetuity.
Okay,
that's a good lawyer term.
Oh, look at this.
What
an insane way. If this works out, my God.
And if it doesn't, that's okay to both of you. Daniel, any happy feet?
No pressure.
Happy feet. This was actually, it was a fun match to watch. Happy feet. I actually think the biggest happy feet, despite not getting a goal, I think he should have ended up with a goal. Denny Bouanga was, in my opinion, man of the match today. Look, he was the facilitator of our attack, and it really showed. I just wish he got one in the net. I think he just had the worst of luck tonight. But shout out to Nathan Ordaz. That was the best. I think that was a really great goal. I actually prefer that over the Bobisi goal tonight. I think the next couple months is going to be probably, in my opinion, because there's no Champions Cup anymore. There's nothing maybe except for Leagues Cup, Open Cup, but it's pretty much open season. Pretty much MLS is our main prerogative at this point. So I think from May to July 4th, I know that one of the super chats asked if we were back. I think we're gonna know in the next 3 months. I think it's the most important leg of the season. So I think what happens in these next 3 months will determine how the rest of the year is gonna play out. I don't know if we're gonna win anything. I don't know if we're gonna win anything. It's just a really weird time.
Wait, you said 3 weeks or 3 months?
3 months is what he said. I think there's something really interesting about being in 3 months, we'll know if we're good.
Yes.
Well, it would also be valid. I mean, the next 3 weeks, we've got Vancouver, we've got El Tráfico, we've got what else is happening? Seattle. I mean, you could say the next 3 weeks too.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think what's going to happen.
Jump the gun. We can be patient.
What's going to happen in the next couple of weeks is it's gonna determine how good this team actually is. Anyways, I think this whole roster is heading for a reboot by the end of the year. It feels that way.
By the end of the season, you think?
I mean, going this coming off season, there's going to be a reboot of the roster.
3 years. Give it 3 years.
Give us 3 years to find out if we're back. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll see. This certainly is what feels like a maybe top 4 team in the West, right? This does not feel like a championship team right now, but we've seen this team turn it around very quickly, and I am happy with the play for the last few weeks, even with points. But any sad feet besides that you want the whole team to go away?
I don't want the whole team going. It just feels that way. It's just weird, man.
Besides, you hate every player.
Our manager decided to quit mid-season, but he's decided like, oh, I'm gonna stick around to the end of the year. It's kind of strange. A sad feat. I do think
it makes sense though that more new players would come in under a new coach, right? Like there is a slow.
I think
transition.
that's probably one of the biggest reasons, and then also having possibility of all your DPs being off the books at one time that's a huge turnover and an elite part of your squad turnover.
Yes, but sad feat. I just wish Denny got a goal tonight. I think we just kind of our defense broke down a little bit in the second half, but I blame that on fatigue more than anything. But it was a solid night, guys. Solid night.
Well, yeah, we agree. Thank you so much for calling, Daniel, and check back with us before 3 months are over. We don't have to. We could still talk before the 3 months are over. All right, see you soon. We got another super chat during that. This is I love these.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much.
Super chat, Techno Gatsby, Sounders fan and Olivier Giroud fan here. 2 things we don't like on the show. Love you guys. Best post game show on YouTube, social media. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness!
Genuinely dig listening to you guys talk ball. Cheers. We love No Sorriatas and Lobbing Scorchers up there in Seattle as well. So
perfect super chat. No notes.
Yeah.
A compliment great. And money. Yeah. This is great.
Hey, if you're watching and or listening to this podcast right now, be more like this person. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just send us money with I agree with Vince. It should be. Also, shout out Mikey who left early, who made an incredible AI image of Vince.
Oh my god,
pretty epic.
That was incredible.
I actually feel pretty honored. I mean, as much as it made me laugh too, it's pretty nice that I've thought of in that high of regard. It could have been a lot worse. I'll say that.
AI can do anything, good or bad.
This is a question that's been looming on my mind, along with Vancouver. I mean, we're going to do a Vancouver match preview in a couple days, so we don't have to go too in depth on Vancouver. But Marvin Mejia asked, "Do you guys think playing like this, we could beat the Galaxy May 18th at Dignity?" Do you think? I think it's 2 different questions. Can we win in Vancouver against a really impressive Vancouver team, and how amped will the Galaxy be to get their first win against us at their on May 18th?
You gotta throw everything out with El Tráfico, right?
Yeah. But if they do play, let's say that they could somehow transport this performance to Dignity, they should beat the Galaxy with the form that the Galaxy are in. To outrun the Galaxy and to be disciplined as they were off the ball, the Galaxy would be. I don't think they would want to face this type of LAFC. They want an LAFC that's scattered, that's trying too hard, that's pressing. They want the LAFC that played against St. Louis, not the LAFC that played against Houston.
Yeah, although
more compliments coming in. Sorry,
I don't feel like. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I don't feel. I'm never gonna feel confident going into El Tráfico, and neither should the Galaxy. But I don't know. We're not super consistent yet. We might continue to be and feel more consistent by then. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I feel like Galaxy is.
I mean, that's how it's going to go, right? It's going to.
Yeah, they're definitely underperforming now that they have more guys back from injury. I don't know. It's still confusing to me that they're playing this poorly still.
I mean, they have guys. I think
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think they have some guys that when the season started poorly are now not exactly sure they want to be there. And they probably
always assume that at all times the entire roster.
I'm just saying they probably thought
I want to play in a place called Stinky City. Yeah. They don't want to be there. It smells bad in Carson.
I just assume every player gets there and is like, my agent told me this was LA.
Well, I think really what it is they win a championship, and then they're like, wait, we're bad now. Wait, this isn't supposed to happen.
I mean, it must be rough.
Also, can I leave? Because like I did the thing I was supposed to do, and I'm only supposed to be here so that I can go to Europe or
I did the
somewhere
thing I
else
was supposed to
to
do.
get paid. So
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to suck because now I'm not gonna get like they're honestly from a personal perspective and from the professional perspective, they're probably thinking I'm costing myself money by going on the pitch with this team.
I'm more than happy for Joseph Paintsill to leave, is what I'll say.
I'm also thinking a little bit of Gabriel Peck. Both of those players are feeling that way.
Well, they came in, did really well, and then they've been really underwhelming since. All right, Paulie on the E line. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Any happy feet or sad feet?
Oh, hello. Before happy feet, sorry, I'm trying not to run over. Before that, can I just
if you got run over on the live stream, it would be incredible.
It would, but I'm not going to. Okay. My friend in the South End, your boyfriend's super hot. You know who you are, and he's kind of the reason that I stopped bringing my wife around to games as often. So Happy Foot, shenanigans in general, Olly shenanigans, or Dodge shenanigans. I don't know if you guys were able to see. Like every time there was a free kick, he was harassing the hell out of Bonds, and I love that.
Oh yeah,
and it's so funny. The ref talked to him, gave him like such a stern talking to, like so many times. It was.
Also, the best part of that. The best part of that was the ref would always come up from an angle where like Ordaz wasn't gonna look at him, so the ref had to put his hand on his shoulder and be like, "Hey, bud, do you think you could?" And Ordaz would be like, "What are you doing here? Where did you come from?
Get out of here, Dad."
Yeah. Don't tell me what to do.
We are building our roster at this point. Like these guys like know how to ride shithousery like right up to the line. I feel like we're really good at this with this roster.
Yep. Oh yeah, and like Palencia too, like was all her. I'm loving the vibes. I'm loving the like YOLO Dolo ball we're doing now. Let's see. I have a lot of happy foots. Just the game in general.
Bring 'em on.
Good stuff. Let's see. Sad foots. I know Bouanga was he put in a lot of effort, and that was fun. It was a little frustrating to see him sky the ball so many times, and I don't know. I like how we look in the final third, but it still feels like when we're in the box, we don't have any real ideas, and it's a little frustrating. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but
I do.
And then
I think that there was definitely. So look, Nathan gets a really good goal, and he drives into the area, but then there were other times where like he could have done that and wasn't in that area. So I think he's still learning where he's supposed to be and how he's supposed to. So a lot of young players, like they're young, so they can run for forever, and so they think that they should, and so they run all over the place. But sometimes you just need to stay in one spot and be in the goal scoring spots. And sometimes Nathan wasn't appearing there, but also some of our quality just in that area isn't quite as good with the delivery. Like if it's not Under, there's not really someone on this team that can really deliver a really quality, pass that is like on the money and has the touch, has the pace. Like we have that really nice long ball. Like we have a good like precision long ball, and then we can like whip in across where like it just makes shit happen because some people can't collect it well. But in terms of like the real like soft chip and quality through ball, we don't seem to have that.
Yeah, there was like at least one Bouanga thing where I was like, did he try and like back heel it at the goal? It was strange, but we're like I'm happy. We won 2-0. We dominated the ball. Let's see.
And I'd rather Bouanga play like this than when he tries to run through 5 people and fail.
I mean, he tried a couple times, but
he succeeded the few times he did tonight. He didn't score, but he got around the people at least, or passed out of it.
Yeah. And let's see.
Olly, before you go, I need to know more about what you said at the beginning, because I feel like we just sort of let that slide.
Yeah, this is the stuff Travis wants to get into.
If we're trying to grow the game, I'm trying to grow a lot of things for you, Paulie. So you don't bring your wife to the game because there's a beautiful man in the South End?
I bring her less often because my friend has a beautiful boyfriend. And last time I brought her, every time I bring her, she's just like, a little too chatty. I'm like, okay, honey, calm down. We get it. But that's it.
Your wife or your friend?
Then my wife, my friend's very polite and always nice.
I don't know these people. All right, so
You-
you have to keep us updated
Yeah.
on your
We need
love
weekly
connection, or your divorce.
No, we're good. We're bulletproof. All right. You all have a good night, though.
All right, we'll
I
talk
don't like talking about this. Bye.
You brought it up. We didn't bring it up, Paulie. But
I know.
that's why he always is a great caller. I love Paulie.
That's the good stuff.
Ollie on the E line, baby.
Look, it's California. It's Los Angeles. His wife would understand, right?
Yeah.
People there have all types of relationships.
I think what I came to understand by the end of that is I think that he was saying that
Daniel agrees.
I think what he was saying was
I love how matter of factly that comment comes across. Hey, you can try this.
That's like an easy suggestion, right?
I think he was saying
It's just
he
a little
didn't.
switch. You actually go into your phone and you just tick the little switch open.
I gotta say that while this has been going on, our uproar, who is always here, and our friend who's not a LAFC fan that's hanging out, Jay, who complimented us, have been fighting about the 2022 MLS Cup final and whether or not it was a fluke. And I just want to say that means we've made it on YouTube. When two people are just going at it and blocking each other,
An irrelevant argument.
listen, we're probably muted. They're just mad at each other. They'll never meet each other.
I love it.
You're both welcome here. Look, also proof that LA is a walkable city. Very true. I feel
Ollie on
like
the E line always
didn't
brings
know.
it.
happy big birthday to Ben Olsen.
Happy
I know
big
how much
birthday,
you love-
Ben.
You love playing at BMO Big Ben, so happy big birthday to
Happy
Big Ben.
Big Ben, big
I
birthday.
would love to hear how he's going to explain this because I'll tell you what, the field looks really nice. So Ben's going to have to work really
Ooh.
hard this time. He's really going to have to do some gymnastics.
Sorry, Ben. No
It was
boxing
raining.
matches here recently.
Yeah.
Big Ben's big birthday.
I'm
any
so
other
glad we're
happy-
done with Houston for the year. That's a happy foot.
Oh, is
Oh,
it?
that's it?
Yeah. Well,
That's
We
it?
got out of it. Oh my
that was
God!
our 2 regular season games with him. Like, thank God. Done.
So we're
That's
officially
fucking
in our
summer,
off
dude.
season with Houston, which means
Yeah.
we can talk about Houston.
I mean, we
now.
could see them in the playoffs, obviously, but yeah, this
I
is good.
want to know something. We're definitely going to play them in Leagues Cup in Houston.
Oh yeah,
In Houston,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
in
sure.
August. Oh,
Yeah.
Leagues Cup is just going to be us playing like 5 games against only Houston and Vancouver
Yeah. Although
somehow.
that playing Vancouver used to be fun, and it's not fun in my mind right now.
No,
This is a super chat that just came in from Daniel. Thank you for the super chat, Daniel. I wonder how Travis feels about the Mets being 11 games over 500. I'm happy for you. You chose to be a Mets fan. We don't really know why. You don't live anywhere near New York City.
I've been getting the impression that he thinks you're a Mets fan.
I
Yeah,
grew up. My dad was a Mets fan growing up, but I didn't really watch baseball. So if I was to say I was a fan of anything, I was a Mets fan. But it wasn't until I lived near Dodger Stadium that I really
yeah.
started following.
It's not until the Knicks get swept that Travis will have room for the Mets in his life.
Even the Dodgers, the NBA playoffs take all the space up.
Yeah.
And my boys Arsenal, who I've been following my whole life.
Of course, you grew up in Arsenal.
But yeah,
fan.
how
Everybody knows
are they
this.
doing?
You know, it's a long tie, Vince. It's a long tie.
Well, I remember when for sure they were going to get second in the league, and now it's looking.
Today was a rough day. Although I did just get, I haven't worn it yet, but I got my Carlos Vela Arsenal kit that I've had my whole life.
Of course, yes.
Delivered to
Big
me.
match for them. Wait,
Yes.
they play Wednesday, yeah.
Liverpool? Oh no, the Champions League is.
Yeah, that's let's be honest. Let's talk some real football now.
Yeah,
that's
that's
all that
all I
matters. Is for Arsenal Wednesday. They don't really care about second place or third place. It doesn't really matter.
No,
All that matters is Wednesday.
They subbed in players at the end of the game where it was clear they weren't chasing that game. It just was
Which is the right thing to do.
yeah.
And that was your Arsenal talk.
We don't have to get into it,
That was
but
your Arsenal minute.
the way that they played for like the second half of that game made me think that they have a chance of beating Paris. Although Paris is very good, but we don't have to get into this because I don't know soccer.
He is very good. Ousmane Dembele is definitely a top 3 candidate for Ballon d'Or. They're a smart team. It's crazy to think that they were like that Kylian Mbappe was like, "Fuck you guys, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to run and not only that, I'm going to run my contract down so you guys can't get money from me." And they're now a better team.
They look easily better than any other team. I almost said we for Arsenal. Arsenal have ever had before.
That's how you know.
So
Boy,
I
oh
also
boy.
like that other Paris team got promoted, and their stadium is next to the PSG stadium. Do you know about this?
Mm-mm.
There's a second team in Paris that just got promoted to League One, and
Okay.
the stadium is across the street from the PSG stadium. Like there's an overhead shot. It's as if the
That's
Coliseum abutted BMO. That's how close it. Like
Oh wow.
Wow.
closer than they are, and that's how close it is. Very walkable
Well,
city.
if I know anything about Parisian soccer fans, they've got a lot of chill. So I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be totally fine. They'll probably walk each other to their seats. There won't be any fights or fire in the stadium. It'll be fine.
Got some more super chats. Thank you guys so much. Al Hopkins says Vince is always correct except about Sublime. Thank you for the
That's
super
probably
chat.
where I'm most correct.
I believe
Wow.
in our fans. Wherever our listeners like, that's what I like, Vince. I think you're wrong.
It's not what you say off camera.
So far, the bands referenced on this show tonight have been Drowning Pool and Sublime. Let's go.
And there was weirdly an overlap in my high school of the people who listened to both. And
There's no people who listen to both. Get the fuck out of here.
100%
Come on.
And I don't think there would be an overlap in a Californian, but in Connecticut, there was definitely. They both got played on Radio 104, which was
Yeah,
the
they got
alternative.
Wow.
They get played on mainstream. They got played on K-Rock, which is like the mainstream alternative rock station.
Who?
Drowning Pool and Sublime, both at the same time.
The other thing
Wow.
that Radio 104 played was Eminem, and that was the only rap that they played. And I was like, huh.
Yeah, it's a little suspect. Yeah.
Alternative
That's a little
radio
sus.
station.
Yep.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Al. Daniel, thank you again for the super chat, Daniel. All
Oh my
over
goodness.
the show today. Travis, if it's not next year, then it'll be 2027. Arsenal will win the league again. This is the comment that means most to me. As you know, I was raised on the club. My father,
Lifelong Arsenal fan.
it was a bit, and I want them to win for him. So he was North Londoner and not a Green Beret man who could barely read.
Jesus.
He wasn't. No, he knew how to read.
Travis being like, oh, actually, I could use this for my lore.
Edit this part out.
The Vela jersey did make me be like, fuck, I should have used Carlos Vela as my excuse to become a fan. I didn't think it through.
Yeah, how many people have you told your like Arsenal story, and now you're like, oh, I wish I would have told them this story. This is a better story.
Okay.
The way to strengthen
Next
your
time
Arsenal
we do
story,
this, I have a,
Yeah.
the way to strengthen your Arsenal story is to say that you became an LAFC fan when you found out Vela was joining the team because you've been such a lifelong Arsenal fan.
Yes. That's a yeah. I moved to Los Angeles to see Chris Lafferty. I can talk to you about Radio 104 Fest as much as you want. I went to multiple Radio 104 Fest. Dee Snider, I forgot, was the morning show host. of
Really?
his sister.
Wow, that's cool.
Who's
Is
Dee
Dee
Snider?
Wait, was he just had a
He's
national
his
show, or
sister.
does he live in Connecticut?
He, for whatever reason, he wasn't a syndicated show. It became syndicated, but I think maybe it was a quick drive from New York. Maybe he could even do it from New York, but it
Mhm.
was, or maybe he lived in New Haven. I don't know, but it was.
Wait, the station was based
Scott.
in Connecticut.
It was a
Yes, or
Connecticut
was it in New York?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a Connecticut station, and it was.
I can
yeah,
see him living in Connecticut. Why not? He's got a
He-
shit ton of money. Wants to not be bothered.
The weirdest part too was before Dee Snider, our morning show was Glenn and Vinny in the morning, and Glenn was Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, before he was like a monster, was a shock jock morning radio host in Connecticut. And I think a lot of those things have been scrubbed from the internet. But I going
Wow.
to elementary and middle school every morning, I would listen to Glenn Beck on Glenn and Vinny in the morning.
Whoa,
Now, Vin, you were
Whoa.
a co-host, right?
Oh,
Wow,
yeah,
that
Vinny.
explains a
Were you
lot.
Vinny?
that's weird because where I grew up out here, K-Rock, one of the people on the morning show was Jimmy Kimmel, and see how their careers have diverged.
Whoa.
Yeah, for sure.
Also,
One has-
Adam
one has
Carolla
empathy in his
was,
heart, and the other doesn't.
was out here for like Love Line, but we don't talk about that. Actually, Dr. Drew for that matter. We don't talk about him either.
We don't talk about Houston. We don't talk about Dr. Drew. We're definitely not talking about Houston now.
I watched a lot of Loveline as a kid.
Yeah,
really?
Loveline, the show, the concept, great, but
Yeah.
it has as Glenn Beck hasn't aged well as the host of Glenn and Vinny, the host of Loveline, not aged well.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, on all fronts.
Don't take any sex advice from them in hindsight.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I gotta say, I was not taking any sex advice from them in whatever the opposite of hindsight is.
I mean, if you can
7
take
years
advice
back.
but never have a chance to put it into practice, is that the same?
Yeah. Honestly, this is Loveline. It's been going on for an hour. There's a call-in link. If you got any questions about your sexual health, and you want to...
Oh no, actually,
This is terrible.
if the three of us became the new hosts of Loveline, what would you guys think?
Well, Daniel has to be there to be like, you could try an open relationship.
Yeah.
Just every once in a while, call in and just
We'd
give matter-of-fact advice.
be great hosts of Like Line. Can we start that?
Look, I think it's clear we've reached the end of what we could talk about from a very, I would say, entertaining game. I had fun watching that game. I sense that there's still some lingering Denny Bouanga frustration. The man looks back to form for me. He shot a lot of weird shots last year, and we let him get away with it because he scored. He passed when he needed to pass. He had an assist tonight, even if it wasn't a great pass. I'm happy with Denny Bouanga. Outside of something we didn't get to, Sadfoot, Aaron Long looked injured, and he looked injured for a while during that game. I know,
that looked like a possibly dislocated shoulder
or a collarbone, something like that. And
Yeah.
when he came off to get checked on his head, it wasn't a head thing, like they said on the broadcast. It was for his shoulder. So it's possible they even popped it back in, and he went back out, and then it still kept hurting.
But he came out early last game too, and that was not planned.
Dislocated shoulders or shoulder injuries can also vary dramatically in terms of pain, and if you need surgery, if you can just live with it. So let's hope it's not that. Let's hope it's a lingering thing. But Aaron Long, I think, has a pretty high pain tolerance, so it's not good that he has come out of 2 games because he's had a really good season. But I trust Marlon as well. I'm worried about his rotator cuff. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but sure.
Yeah,
it's part of your shoulder, but
fractured clavicle.
I think separated shoulder and or collarbone problem would be worse than your rotator cuff because he's not going to be throwing the ball.
Unless you're a doctor truly qualified to talk about this, tell us in the comments what you think the specific injury is from Aaron Long. Just throw one out there.
Yeah, if you actually do know, don't tell us.
Yeah, I'm not interested. We don't need that. Have we given Abobasi enough credit on the show for what was really a fantastic finish?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, strong. I mean, I think the problem we're in the weeds now because, as we kind of alluded to, this game was pretty just straightforward. There wasn't a lot.
A refreshingly straightforward game that has not happened. When's the last time we won a game 2-0 where we were in the 80th minute? Both teams had pretty much agreed that the game was over and the entire stadium was doing the wave.
Yeah, I think from the perspective of
happen?
Fans and obviously even the onlookers, they're there wasn't a lot in this game, but I bet you the coaches go into the coaches room and go, fuck yeah, that was the type of game we want to play every week.
Oh yeah, a boring win.
Yeah,
a clean boring win.
This was not boring compared to some of the boring games.
Just the nature of the win.
The game was not boring. It was just very straightforward. It was pretty, honestly, it felt matter of fact. They were just yeah, we won, thanks, see you later.
I think what was so nice about the Abobasi goal, just to go back for a second, was it was clear that everyone thought the pass was going back. No one thought that shot was coming,
including the keeper.
And he just sort of was like, "Fuck it, I know how to do this. I'm not Olivier Giroud. I could actually do this." And it was like, I don't know, man. Abobasi was looking great before his injury. I'm so happy he's back with another goal, and I believe that means you each now have 4 goals. You're still tied in our goal.
Oh, you have Abobasi?
Yeah, of course I do. That's right.
I was gloating when our dad scored.
Yeah, you were.
The thing is that the pass from Bouanga was so bad that it put him in a terrible position to be able to pass it back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw him for a half second being like, "Oh, I'll give it. I can't give it back. You put me in such a terrible position. I guess I'll just shoot it."
When the pass happened, I was like, we're not scoring. And also, if we don't score here, Like we're all gonna regret it when they come down and score, and then Obobisi finished it. So yeah, we should give him a lot of credit for that because it really did end the game. But man, that pass was fucking bad. It was bad. It was
so
really
funny.
bad.
I think the big thing from a fan perspective of what was very heartening about this win for me was like it did have all the hallmarks of a match where this happened, but it also had all the hallmarks. I'm having trouble saying hallmark. Had all the hallmarks. I'm gonna keep doing it, so that's a good idea. Of a match where, those matches where it's like, wow, they have one goal. They should have 3 goals, but they have one. I guess nothing's too wrong, and then they keep the other team in it for too long, and then they come back and tie the game, and then it ends in a tie, and you're like, what the fuck? We should have won 4-0. We tied 1-1, and instead they like took the right turn instead of the left turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a little bit since they've done that like so cleanly. So it was,
it's a good sign.
We had another super chat while we were chatting. Adam, thank you so much for the super chat, $1.99. Have you talked about Javier Bardem on screen? Boy,
not enough.
Not enough for who it was.
Not enough. Hey, throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat if you know whether or not Javier Bardem was there.
If you don't mind letting us know if Javier Bardem was there, put it in the chat for us.
Adam gave us a super chat. Can you tell us? Can he tell us?
Adam, you should scroll up in the YouTube comments. There was a period of time where it was a wall of people saying Javier Bardem was on the screen. Javier Bardem was on the screen. But thank you for the super chat, Adam.
If I was Javier Bardem, if I ever ended up on a screen for decades to come, I would have a coin with me at all times and just flip a coin.
I would have a cow mutilator. We have a caller at the death. As we were wrapping up,
oh my goodness!
At the death, welcome to the show, MT. MT, I just need confirmation you're not driving as we bring you on.
Wait, what? For real? Hi. I'm not driving though. I'm not driving.
Okay,
good.
Cole's
Very
driving.
good.
How you doing?
Eddie Happy Peter Sad Feet. Thanks for calling in.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm a favorite of the show. I think I sent you the Happy Foot, Sad Foot scarf.
Oh, thank you so much.
The photo of it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
I love
that. Was a good photo. Strong photo.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
This is one of my favorite moments of LAFC.
For sure. I realize I don't have the range of motion.
Obobisi's goal was the shit.
We were just talking about it.
In this car right now. Hi. It's so dark in here.
It is.
It is.
Hello.
It's kind of eerie.
Yeah,
there you go.
Here. But Obobisi's goal was amazing. Can you believe Obobisi's goal? Yes.
We were just talking about it. It was a real clean fit. A game where we had about 1,000 shots on goal and couldn't seem to find it. He just kind of was like, guys, like this. This is why aren't we just doing this? He just put it right in the back of the net.
If there's 1,000 shots on goal and Obobisi could have one, that'd be cool. That'd be good.
Yeah, it's the neck thing.
Thumbs up.
That blood is flowing.
Yes. Amazing. I'm gonna say goodbye because I'm in the car. But thank you guys.
No problem. MT, this was a wonderful call. I'm having so much fun.
Hi,
Please call back.
Hi. Yes. Hello. Yes. Obobisi was amazing. My happy point is that I'm very happy about Obobisi. Thank you.
I'm happy for
Goodbye.
Agreed.
First time caller, last time caller, I think, probably. Okay, bye.
That's a new one, but I like it.
First time caller, last time caller.
Probably. Incredible call
Please
from
don't.
MT.
Please
I
come
would
back.
say, drink some water, there was worry in the chat that you were tied up in the trunk of the car because of the lighting. So if you need help, just knock.
I mean, if he was the happiest man ever to be tied up in the back of a trunk.
People have weird things, and that's what we're talking about here on Loveline.
Yeah,
let's not
I'd like to suggest an open relationship with the trunk.
Everyone loves MT. Not sending in a super chat.
That guy's better than Tuck.
Agreed.
Nice room, Vince, from Lascoot. It's because you can't tell that he has the field in front of him, right?
Yeah.
This is where we normally have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that regard, it's pretty fucking nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back this week with a preview for the biggest game of the season against the Vancouver Whitecaps, sans Vanni Sartini. I can't imagine we won't talk about that a lot.
Oh yeah, I wonder what Travis will want to talk about.
And look, we get really worked up as fans. We get really upset when things aren't perfect. We get upset at draws. We get upset at losses. We get upset at boring wins. This was an exciting game where we didn't play perfectly, but we handled a good team and we controlled it. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy this feeling. Let's remember that it happened. So if we lose in Vancouver, we don't say everything has been bad. Just everyone remember tonight. Breathe it in. Remember Javier Bardem.
No, we're not doing the meditation yet. We're not.
Javier Bardem was here.
Not yet.
Let's try to get
Javier
Travis
Bardem going to Vancouver
next time. Is my
Do you think
Wi-Fi
he's
bad?
I don't know.
Maybe he means like mentally, like.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of, I thought of a new one.
No, he means
Let's take this-
technically. I'm sure.
Let's take this offline. I hate that one.
Which
I
one?
hate
What?
when our business speak episode when we were doing a bunch of bandwidth and that, I thought of a new one. It's
Taking
when
it
people-
offline?
Yeah. Hey, can we stop? Can we pause this here? Let's take this offline. No, motherfucker.
We're having the meeting right now.
Yeah, I'm just talking right now.
All
let's
right. This has been wonderful. Happy Foot, Sad Foot is the name of the show. I love you. Bye.
I love